Hi MetYAs, it's Lindsay Callaway here. I am doing your word of the week, and the word is image. And I will be talking about it and defining it in terms of the image of God. So Genesis 1:27 is where we go to. It's where the image of God is first introduced. It's one of the first doctrines introduced in the Bible. And it says, so God created mankind in his own image. In the image of God, he created him. Male and female, he created them. What does it mean to be made in the image of God? Well, throughout history, there have been many different conceptions and definitions. One way is to locate the image in our interrelatedness as human beings, our social dependence, and that's often supported by the last half of verse 27 that says male and female, he created them. But if we do read earlier in the account, God also makes the animals male and female, and gives them the same mandate to be fruitful and multiply. So it might not be the best to try to locate the image in our social relatedness. The probably most popular way is to think of it in terms of our functionality or our capacities, and that is often defined as our rationality or intellect. The fact that human beings have reached these unrivaled heights of technological, architectural, linguistic, cultural advancement. And collectively, that probably is an implication of our image of God, in terms at least of our capacity. But it can be dangerous to try to locate the image of God in something like human intellect, because there are animals that are more impressive than some humans. And so if we look at the organization of an ant colony, or how a falcon can do the physics for a dive, the danger lies in the fact if we try to find a certain function or quality in which the image is based, and then what do you do with the people who don't possess that quality or function? So too often, the image is misunderstood to be how humans are like God now, leading to the glorification of human attributes as determinative of the image. So how do we avoid that? Well, when we read Genesis 1:27, to be made in the image of something doesn't necessarily mean that we are that image. We are actually made according to an image. We're tiny replicas of something original. We're not the archetype, we're imitations. So I want to suggest that the image cannot be located within us. It's actually located out of us in the person of Jesus. Where do I get this? Colossians 1:15. Paul says, He, Jesus, is the image of God, of the invisible God, the firstborn over all creation. So right there, Paul tells us the perfect image of God is Jesus. He's the manifestation of the invisible God made visible. So by rooting the image of God in Christ and understanding him as this blueprint or archetype according to which all of humanity is made, this has implications. It's not something that we possess at varying degrees, but it's someone we are all patterned after and meant to imitate. So the degree to which we do imitate or reflect him will vary, because not everyone is a Christian, but the image doesn't change based on belief. Christ is the basis for humanity, whether you're a believer or you have developmental challenges. So one last thing that I think is a really cool interaction in Mark 12 that has implications for this image of God concept. The Pharisees and the Herodians are trying to stump Jesus about paying taxes, and they approach him and they say, should we be paying imperial taxes to Caesar? And Jesus says, bring me a denarius, which is a coin. And he says, whose image is this? And they say, Caesar's. And Jesus says this famous line, give back to Caesar what is Caesar's, and to God what is God's. So Jesus is saying, give back to Caesar that which has his likeness on it. And so the implication for that second half of his comment then is, give back to God that which has his likeness on it. And who is that? That is us. That is you. That is your whole being. Give him everything that he has claimed by making you in his image, in his likeness. So that's not your good works. That's just not your rationality, not just your capacities. That is your whole being. Because God actually doesn't define exactly what is made according to our likeness. It's just humanity. It's us. So I hope that helps give you a little more thought about the image of God and what that means for you and for everyone that you interact with. Thanks so much, guys.